All right, good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming. What a terrific turnout we have here. My name is Brad Davis. I'm the new athletic director here at Mercyhurst. Can I say I'm still new? I'm still new. I've been here about 4 months. Going through the interview process here and coming to Erie for the first time in May to meet with so many folks, what was really clear to my family, my wife Kristen and my baby boy Brecken, who are here today, it was really clear how much of a family appeal there was here and what a community Mercyhurst was. And that's something that was really attractive to us as we went through the interview process. We wanted to go somewhere where it felt like a family. And we were leaving our lives in Massachusetts and coming here and didn't feel like a major adjustment. It was coming home. And to come up here today now, 4 months later, and talk about this fantastic campaign we're gonna move forward on, it illustrates the community partnership that we've had here. We couldn't have moved forward without being a family and without being together on this. And to sit here with Mercyhurst Prep and to sit here with the Sisters of Mercy, it really is an impressive plan that we're gonna move forward. And again, we couldn't have done it by ourselves. I want to thank President Michael Victor. When I first met President Victor in May, he had a really bold vision for athletics. Very dedicated to the future and the growth of where Mercyhurst is and how important athletics is to that. And he hasn't wavered from that at all. We've been moving forward very quickly over these last few months, and it's really exciting, and I couldn't do it without the support of President Victor. So without further ado, please welcome President Michael Victor.
By the way, you'll note he said that he was here in May and June. That was by design. So football great Vince Lombardi said that individual commitment to the group effort is what makes a team work. But not only a team, a company, a society, even our own university. It's all about everyone giving their individual best to lift up the group. Today, we recognize the individual commitment of William and Betsy Vorshak to Mercyhurst University and to Mercyhurst Prep, both schools from which Betsy graduated. Their generous gift of $4 million, the largest alumni contribution in our history, goes to the very heart of the transformative changes that will soon take place in Laker athletics. Changes that will benefit both Mercy institutions, our students, our alumni, our fans, and our friends. Likewise, the individual commitment of alumni John and Patty Saxon and their generous donation of $1 million in support of Mercyhurst athletics launches what we anticipate will be a strong group effort on behalf of all of our supporters. It is my profound hope that anyone who has supported or worn the green and the white will be part of our, quote, Laker for Life, the campaign for Mercyhurst athletics. Already 5 million strong, the campaign seeks a total of $9.5 million for major upgrades to our athletic facilities, which will become known as the William Vorshak Jr. Athletics Complex. Now included among those upgrades will be the new surface and lights and other improvements to Tullio Field, which is housed and will soon take the name of Saxon Stadium. Before I invite AD Brad Davis back to the podium to describe those upgrades to you, I want to reiterate my gratitude to the Vorshaks and the Saxons. The Vorshaks, who are currently at home in Florida, could not be with us here today, but I'd like to ask Mercyhurst trustee and chair of our athletics campaign, John Saxon, to please stand. John. I'd also like to thank our colleagues at Mercyhurst Prep, President Ed Curtin, Director of Advancement Lisa Natupsky, and Athletics Director Dan Perfetto. Please stand and take our applause. And I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our beloved Sisters of Mercy, several of whom are with us here today. Sisters, please stand and take our thanks. And thank you for being our biggest fans. I'm also happy to welcome some of our former athletes to campus today. Jeff Veach. Jeff was on our original men's hockey team. Jeff, raise your hand. I know you're here somewhere. There you go. Dario Cipriani. Dario here today? There he is, Dario. Dario was one of the team members of one of our first men's golf teams. Mary Hoffman. Mary? And Mary played on one of our earliest women's basketball teams. Another Hall of Famer, Alan Belivarek, who was among our first rowers. Alan. Alan was also the only one who knew how to set the Canterbury clock. With them is a good friend of Mercyhurst Athletics, Paul Kinney, who is the parent of 2 student athletes who competed both at Mercyhurst Prep and Mercyhurst University. Paul? Finally, let me express my gratitude to the incredible student athletes, coaches, and athletics department staff who make us all proud to be Lakers. Thank you for all that you do. And finally, to members of our Mercyhurst team who are steering this fundraising campaign, you also have my profound and deepest thanks. Vice President for External Relations and Advancement, Cal Pfeiffer, Associate Vice President Ryan Palm, Vice President for Student Life, Laura Zirkle, and our Athletic Director, Brad Davis. Please all stand to be recognized. Brad, back to you.
Thank you, President Victor. All right, so the Laker for Life campaign, it will help all 600 of our student athletes. I'm going to walk you through a few of the planned improvements over the next few years and talk through what's coming. You know, when I talk with our student athletes, I always tell them the student athlete experience is our #1 priority. Simply put, if we don't have student athletes, we don't have jobs. You know, and we need to be very supportive of everything our student athletes do. It's our #1 mission every day. I also tell them we want our student athletes to leave Mercyhurst in a better place than they found it. And I'm very convinced that this campaign will do just that. So to the details. While the timelines are still being finalized for everything, you know, in partnership with Mercyhurst Prep, we will build a new 3rd turf field on our campus. Part of that will become the new home field for our softball program at Mercyhurst University and for the softball and soccer programs at Mercyhurst Prep. The field will be turfed, it'll be lighted, it'll be right up on the hill, and we'll be really excited to get going on that project in the near future. At the same point, we'll be returfing the 2 fields that we have right now, Tulio Field, which will become known as Saxon Stadium, as President Victor mentioned, and our multi-purpose field used by baseball and soccer. We'll have new turf surfaces down, we'll have new lighting go up at Saxon Stadium, and we'll do a lot of the aesthetic improvements as well, such as new curbing and netting and fencing, and try to really improve the overall fan experience. And it'll be really exciting in the fall when we have lights for our football program and field hockey and lacrosse at Saxon Stadium, and we can play our first football game under the lights in more than a decade. We're hopeful to also at the baseball and soccer field improve the backstop, the dugouts, a lot of the specific areas to the baseball specific part of that facility. We'll go into the Mercyhurst Ice Center. You probably have seen some pictures up as well. We will look to replace the ice surface and the cooling system for the first time since the building was built. We'll add new boards and glass, really making it a better, safe product for our student athletes. We'll replace the flooring and give the building some paint and put some new life into it. And then over time, you see some photos here as well that talk about some of the seating. You know, the university is committed to Division I hockey, and this is a major investment from the university standpoint to move our men's and women's hockey teams forward. So the next step of the campaign will be to go out and fundraise money so we can improve the seating and the VIP spaces in the facility for our fans. Looks of increasing the VIP seating in the rink, as well as replacing some of the bleachers and putting new chair backs in. And we'll look to do that in the future as part of the Laker for Life campaign. But the improvements in the Mercyhurst Ice Center aren't just for hockey. Over time, we'll build more locker rooms. And those locker rooms, 2 of them become new homes for Mercyhurst women's soccer and softball programs. And go ahead, cheer. And we'll have more visiting spaces for locker rooms as well for our community, for use for ice rentals, for high school teams, for Mercyhurst Prep, to give us more flexibility and to have more of a community presence on our campus. And then in the future, we'll look in the Mercyhurst Athletic Complex next. We'll upgrade the rowing area and make some improvements for what's become a nationally renowned rowing program. We'll look in the gym and replace the gym floor for the first time since the floor was built, since the arena was built. We'll take that stage out. We'll put some new seating in as well and scoreboards and really take the overall experience for our basketball programs, volleyball, and wrestling to another level. And finally, we'll look in the Fitness and Recreation Center and make some badly needed upgrades there that won't just help our student athletes, but are going to help all of our students as well. So it's a truly historic and it's a really exciting time for Mercyhurst. We're moving in a really exciting direction, and part of today's announcement for the Laker of Life campaign is to get everybody really excited about where we're going and to start building momentum. Because while the university is committed to these investments, we can't do it without everyone's support, and we're going to need that starting today. Before I introduce Ed Curtin from Mercyhurst Prep, I want to talk a little bit about Ed. So I first met Ed, I think it was my 4th week at Mercyhurst, and going over to the Mercyhurst Prep campus to talk about a project that I didn't really know the scope of or where the opportunities were yet. I was still that new guy on campus, not necessarily knowing what the next step was. And without Ed's support, we wouldn't be where we are today. Ed is passionate about not just Mercyhurst Prep, but the entire family that we have here on the Mercyhurst campus. He's been instrumental every step of the way in making this project start to become a reality. And I know he's excited as anybody to come up here and say thanks to everyone else for their support. So ladies and gentlemen, Ed Curtin.
Thank you, Brad. I am honored today to be representing Mercyhurst Prep, especially as we stand here in solidarity with our colleagues from Mercyhurst University, another great ministry of the Sisters of Mercy. How wonderful it is to have this great occasion to thank Betsy and Bill Vorshek and John and Patty Saxon as they assist our 2 schools in this transformational way. It is edifying to know of the support of our friends as we endeavor to grow our athletic programs as a part of growing our mission with this collaborative effort to enhance our playing fields. It's a proud day indeed for all Lakers, young and old, and soon to be Lakers. Home is a word that resonates in the heart of the human experience, and today, our student athletes and our entire Mercy community are excited about the improvements to our home. On behalf of the coaches and players from our soccer and softball teams, some of whom are here with us today, we share our excitement about keeping these sports on our campus, in our home. I want to thank the Mercyhurst University personnel again for this collaborative effort to help set a path for our future, and to the sisters whose vision and leadership brings us to this moment. I say thank you on behalf of our entire community. As a fan, I personally look forward to many exciting contests at Saxon Stadium and within the entire William Vorshek Jr. Athletic Complex. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. I want to call on President Victor once more for another introduction.
At Mercyhurst University, we could not succeed in all we do without the support and guidance of our trustees. And so I would like to introduce our chair of our board, Jonah Castro, for his fine leadership and guidance. Joe.
All right, he was introduced earlier today. We're very grateful for his support. He'll be the chair of our Laker for Life campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. John Saxon.
Thank you, sisters. Thank you, President Curtin, President Victor, for giving my alma mater such a fantastic sense of leadership and vision. I would say that Patty is also an alum of Mercyhurst Prep, so she'll be proud that these 2 institutions are coming together. If not for athletics, I would not have attended Mercyhurst. I'm not alone. In fact, today, more than 25% of the student body is made up of athletes. My son Danny is a freshman on the lacrosse team. He's in class now, or at least he better be. Once again, if not for athletics, Danny wouldn't be here either. Now, my athletic career here at Mercyhurst did not go as I had planned. My sophomore year, I suffered a career-ending knee injury. And at that point, I was facing adversity like I had never faced before. But through athletics, I learned a lot of life's lessons. I learned perseverance, determination, goal setting, teamwork, and that's just to name a few. I turned my attention to studying business, and I worked as hard in the classroom as I had on the field. And shortly after my injury, I met Danny's mother, Patty Kalizak. She was then a member of the Mercyhurst swim team. We had one then. She would want me to say that. She has now been the love of my life for more than 33 years and my wife of 24. She inspired me to overcome the sense of loss that I felt as a result of my injury. She, along with faculty and staff advisors here at Mercyhurst, helped me to refocus my efforts to prepare for the game of life. Together, my wife and I have two beautiful children. I've already mentioned Danny. Our daughter is also a college athlete. She's the captain of her swim team at the University of Mount Union in Ohio. My wife and I have chosen to give back to Mercyhurst because of the foundation that the university provided for our life together. In addition, we believe the lessons and bonds that are developed from team interaction is difficult to achieve through any other means. Participation in athletics builds critical life skills such as leadership, teamwork, commitment, perseverance, and time management. All of you student athletes have to manage your time. It forges friendships and it ignites school spirit like nothing else can. Mercyhurst is where I made many of my life choices. My career choice and where I met my wife. No Mercyhurst, different life. No Mercyhurst, different life. My wife and I are grateful to the university for the unique challenges and opportunities that we were afforded. We have been blessed in life, and we feel it's important to give back to the institution that represents our beginning. I am encouraging all of my former teammates and all Mercyhurst athletics alumni, as well as those in our greater community who believe in the mission of athletics, to join us in giving to this great institution so that we can provide the opportunities that we have been given to others. Thank you all, and thank you, Mercyhurst University.
All right, thanks everybody for coming. Campaign website, mercyhurst.edu/Laker for life. Log on, tell your friends, donate, spread the word. We need everyone's support so we can move forward and make all these projects a reality as quickly as we can. Thank you to all of our student athletes for coming today. What a fantastic turnout in the back. Thanks so much for everyone's support and all of your hard work. Thanks to the parents of all of our student athletes for trusting us with your son and daughter. Their experience is getting better every day. Thank you to all of my staff. Thank you to Dr. Laura Zirkle for all of her support for me. I think I'm in her office every day looking for advice and guidance, and she's followed through with everything I've needed. Thanks to my senior staff, Lauren Packer-Webster, Sue Sweeney, Joe Spano, Stacy Gaudet. Thanks to all of you and my support staff for making this event happen. Really exciting times ahead here in Mercyhurst. We can't wait to get started. Stay tuned for future updates on our campaign. When spring sports are over, there'll be a shovel in the ground, and we will go from there with details. So thanks again. We'll have media availability up front, up in the back for some of our student athletes as well. And go Lakers!